What's up, Zoxfam? We're back with some more Chaos Zero Nightmare. Now, we're going to be getting into the gacha, obviously, ways to obtain premium currency and feedback, right? I think that this, of course, is one of the major things that we have to talk about because obviously we're playing a gacha game because it's a gacha, right? So starting out with the rescue, this is where you're going to be able to obtain not only your combatants but also partners, and then of course the very last tab here is going to be for the prisms for your combatant prism modules, right? So these are all really important. We're going to be starting out obviously with the combatant rescue. Just to kind of note and touch on something that I'll probably have some footage pop up of it, but it's the beginner's banner or rescue, right? That is basically a preset banner that is going to guarantee that in X amount of pools you will be gaining a 5-star combatant. Now, it was bugged, if I'm not mistaken, because it said I was supposed to obtain my 5-star combatant in 30, but then I ended up doing 40 and ended up going all the way to, I think, what was it, like 60 or 70, and then actually got it. So I don't know if it was bugged or not, but hopefully they adjust that and it's working properly on the release. But nonetheless, that does give you the opportunity to basically spark potentially a 5-star in every pool. It's just at the end of it, that's when you're guaranteed to get the 5-star, and then it will dissipate or go away. Now, the cool thing with that too is that it's discounted. So it's not a full 10 of the premium currency for you to pull on the banner. So the rescue anchors is actually 8 per multi on that specific banner. So I just want to kind of note that. Now, with the normal rescue, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of what the differences are between this and the next set of banners, is the combatant rescue is just your standard banner, right? Now, the thing is that if we are just looking here at the observation data and just your overall probability, it says the 5-star cap count for a combatant rescue is not shared or accumulated with the cap or 5-star cap count of other rescues. So you know that this banner does not have a carryover specifically. It says when obtaining a 5-star target, the accumulated 5-star cap count is reset. And for every rescues, you will obtain at least one target of a 4-star or higher. So every multi you do, you will get a 4-star. Now, the probability of you getting a 5-star target in this high chance combatant event, there's a base probability of obtaining a 5-star combatant is 1%, with a guaranteed 5-star combatant being after 70 summons. The total acquisition rate for the 5-star combatant, including pity, is really 2.4% or 14%. And it says when a combatant is obtained, there's a 50% chance it will be the featured combatant for this high chance event. If the combatant obtained is not the featured unit, the next combatant will be guaranteed to be the featured one. Now, I know that a lot of players have already given feedback about the 50-50, but I think it is worth mentioning that, like, for this standard banner, they don't have anything, like, if we actually look at the probability, there's nothing that's technically rated up over anything, so it's all random anyway. I think that that would be more of a thing that applies to like premium banners or rate up banners that are more fixated on a specific character. So like for this banner, it doesn't really matter so much because obviously everything is just here. Whereas like if you're looking at a rate up banner, that's obviously where that's going to matter a lot more. I will say like dupes are definitely something that seem impactful, but I can't answer 100% just yet if they're necessary, just because of the fact that we haven't had much time into the beta, but I will answer that question before this beta is over. Now, of course, with that, you also, like I said, have the opportunity of getting a 4-star target at 12%, and that will be something you can obtain every 10 pools anyway, right? Now, when obtaining a or acquiring a duplicate 5-star combatant through the 2nd through 6th times, they will be converted into combatant's memory code in moments of radiant heroes times 40. On the 7th time, they will be converted into moments of radiant heroes times 100. Now, this is important because this is letting us know that the conversion of currency isn't going to stay the same. It actually ends up almost tripling the amount of moment of radiant hero that you get when you receive a unit pass max dupe, right? So I guess that's kind of their compensating value there. And so this so on and so forth will also apply to 4- and 3-star targets. And then when we're looking at the probability guide, you can obviously obtain 5-star combatants here that are currently all in the game. 4-star combatants also are going to be accessible from here. And then you'll also be able to receive 4-star combatant or 4-star partners from this banner, okay? And it's a really, really important reason why I'm emphasizing that. You'll also have the 3-star ones as well. So just kind of taking that for what it is, you can get characters or combatants as well as 4-star and below partners, right? So that's basically how that works. Now, when we look at the very next banner, this is going to be the normal rescue, the partner rescue. This banner obviously is going to be emphasizing 5-star partners. And when we're actually looking at the observation data for this, it's going to be the same thing as far as overall rates with a 50-50. And of course, with this, you'll also be able to have an opportunity to be able to get 4-star targets as well as the 3-star ones. So when we look at the probability here, you'll see that it's a whole slew of partners. These are all 5 stars to be more specific. And then it's going to have all the reciprocating 4 stars and 3-star partners that are basically getting carried over, right? So keep in mind too, you can technically obtain characters, but they're going to be the 4 stars. So they kind of alternate the 2 banners so that you basically are on one banner, there's 5 stars rated up over there with 4-star partners and below. And then on the other banner, it's 5-star partners with 4-star and below combatants, right? So that's just kind of how they mix and match the banners, and they both share the exact same currency. So they can either take advantage of the rescue anchor, or you can use the crystals. Okay. And then the very last banner that they have here is actually for the 5-star prism modules. That's how you get like the shiny cards and stuff like that. You could basically select a character that you want to target for this. And the cool thing is, though, is that this currency isn't something that I was thinking you might have to just buy. You can actually get this currency free to play just from actually playing the game, completing different milestones, missions, and stuff like that. So you can actually take advantage of it, right? So pretty big deal. I would say it's, like I said, more of like a visual thing than I've seen it be anything else. Because even when you like kind of click on it, it just card motion restoration material. So it's not really like emphasizing anything other than that, at least from what I've been able to find, right? Now, of course, with that, just for those that are like, Zox, rip one. I got you, all right? I already know y'all saying it. I'm a rip one, okay? I got you, all right? And this is just to kind of give you an idea of like what the gacha animation looks like. It's very well indicated if you got like a premium unit. But here, I think we just probably got a 5-star or 4-star. So we got another copy of a mare. And so, yeah, that's what the gacha ends up looking like. And so far, for at least the testing phase that we're in, they've just given us more currency, and we're actually about to go into a maintenance soon. So let's actually hurry this up a little bit. But what you're also going to have to take into consideration is ways of being able to obtain currency. So the ways that I've been able to find so far is that they have guided missions. Okay, so growth guide is definitely going to be a pretty big deal. Like I was saying, you are able to get like the prism lens, which you can use for that prism banner. But then along the way, as you're completing this, you're also going to be accumulating EXP. Of course, with that, you have a scheduled progress that is going to be your like achievement schedule that you're filling out, which is going to be giving you crystals, which is the premium currency of the game. So we're going to go ahead and just claim all here, right? And then another thing that you also are going to have is an achievement log for you leveling up. Now, this is going to be giving you or granting you things like, for example, recharges for Aether, which is stamina. It's also going to be giving you, obviously, like I said, more of those prisms for that banner. You're going to be getting, like, again, here, signal amplification anchor. These are unique, obviously. You get your standard rescue anchors as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I think these signal amplification anchors are going to be more specific for like obviously rate up banners. So that's kind of that. But again, you do have like your standard currencies that you'll just be able to get along the way just from simply leveling your account. Now, other ways that you're able to obtain premium currency in the game is going to be via things like, for example, and this was something I did not go over intentionally because I wanted to save it for this video, but it's actually building up or training your characters. Now, you're able to get premium currency, or I should say the anchors, from actually every like other 10 levels. So level 20, we get get a summon here. At level 40, we get another one. At level 60, we get another one. So in total, every character can give you 3 extra summons as you are leveling them and uncapping them, basically. But they all will be giving you units along the way, right? And then on top of that, you're able to get premium currency for taking them up all the way up to level 30. And that's going to be via the affinity. So that's just kind of something to keep in the back of your mind, that these are just excess ways for you to be able to get more resources for you to be able to summon and really honestly stockpiling, right? So investing in units really isn't a bad thing, at all, right? Now, of course, there's other areas that you'll be able to get more currency from. Like, for example, they have it locked right now and it says to be updated soon. I'm assuming these are going to be like battle pass, etc., stuff like that. So that'll probably be another area for you to be able to obtain some resources. Obviously, campaign clearing, you'll be able to get not only like, let me see if we have anything that shows still, right? Like, so you'll get the EXP, you get your premium currency, EXP for your characters, etc. So obviously story is going to be a really big deal for currency accumulation. The battle missions all give you resources. So it's going to be 15 per star that you clear. Then there's an extra 30 that you get for the actual clear itself. And then you also have for accumulated stars, premium currency that's given, plus at the end of each star accumulative number, which this one's 18, you get a actual full summon as well. So there's that, right? And then keep in mind, this has not only a normal, but it also has a hard mode, right? So that's going to be more currency for you to be able to traverse and get. Now, outside of that, we also have the chaos. And in the chaos, as far as I've seen that it's not necessarily directly currency from going through the dungeon itself, but actually clearing and like identifying areas, fighting different monster types, and of course the different bosses is what's going to be giving you resources. So as you can see here, I hit level 6, and up until that point, I've gotten premium currency, I've gotten summons, and now that I'm at level 6, I get another 30 of the crystals. So this is how you're going to be basically hitting those milestones or getting those excess rewards. It's actually by increasing your exploration archive, right? So it's very, very straightforward in how you can get currencies. Again, here you can see that for hitting the achievement of 8, I get another 5 crystals, and so on and so forth, right? Now, I know there's another area where you actually can get in its achievements. Here we go, right? So you have an achievement log, so journey log, exploration altitude, traces of obliteration, and also overcoming adversity. These are going to be all areas where you'll get some other things outside of just premium currency. Like, for example, here, you'll be able to get an identification tag. And these are actually a couple of different things, some stickers, right? Another profile decorative sticker as well. So this is how you basically are going to be able to get things. Actually completing the mission, completing different tasks is going to net you more crystals and so on and so forth. Now, this is all stuff like, kind of, at least for what we have. We don't have access to the zero system just yet. It says it will be updated soon, but they don't have that just yet. Now, I think that's basically some of the main ways. I think simulation, is going to be like maybe first time clears for some of these. If that, I don't even think that these have them for first time. Yeah, so I don't even think these have first time clears. That may be something that they could add, because who doesn't like first time clear crystals? And then, of course, for the Arc City, if we actually go in here, the Arc City doesn't necessarily have anything directly giving you crystals, other than the fact of when you're building up your affinity with your characters. That, of course, then in turn turns into the crystals, like we've already mentioned, right? So that's basically how you're able to, and how the gacha works, obtaining premium currency in the game. Like I said, I'm always interested to know what you guys' feedback is on, the gacha and stuff like that. Personally, for me, what I would really like to see with the rescue, and I do get the intent fundamentally, right? I feel like with this game, it's not going to be a game where you necessarily pull for every single character. I think that is definitely something that they're kind of pushing with how the units investment kind of works. It is seeming to kind of go a little bit more along the lines of, like, if you guys are familiar with like Arc Knights and like how year 1 of Arc Knights went, and even just the first like month or two, it was kind of like, slowly but surely investing in the units that you really wanted to build strats around and stuff like that. And then as your account got more developed, you start to develop more and more and more and more, right? And so I feel like with this game, from what I've seen, I've been like mainly playing with the base team. The base team is really, really strong. And so I really think that this game is all about finding a team that synergizes and then investing in it versus just pulling a whole bunch of units and ooga boogling and like swapping in and out and ooga boogling. I really honestly think it's more about that. But what I will say is that I think it also is dependent upon like how events go, because we don't have any actual events going on right now to see what additional currencies will look like. And then on top of that, we also don't know what the currency pool is going to look like after these first time rewards go away. So I would say these are a couple of different factors that are really important in what a player can actually save realistically versus what they're going to be outputting to get a new unit. I think the other thing that's also kind of a thing to consider too is the fact that you also have, partner rescue and combatant rescue. And the 5-star partners, I think, are going to be very, very strong. But I feel like for a lot of free to play, you're going to probably have to pick between the two banners. I don't see you long term being able to successfully pull on both unless there's a like crazy quantity of currency that they're going to be giving us. But I will say that depending on how they handle the feedback that they've been given, I think a thing that absolutely could help something like this and still would make them money would honestly just be making their no 50-50 and then focusing more on generating things that players will spend more money on. Really, really well-versed battle passes, skins. There's so many different areas that you guys can actually invest in. Even with the prism idea, I know people are absolutely going to spend on that, especially if they feel like it's worth and they're going to be spending time playing this game long term. So these are just some of the things that I would say are going to be really important to take into consideration. I think as far as a game goes, this game is like absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this game. Gacha aside, this game is really fun. So I think that for your more casuals, or at least people that really just want to make sure that they're getting the characters that they get, make it the standard norm. That's at least my take on that. But nonetheless, that's going to be that for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Everyone, stay blessed. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.